Good evening. You're listening to the Garden City Community Chat Show with your hosts Carrie, Tom, and Mike. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, hello, Garden City. How the heck are you tonight? Also, hi to our surrounding neighbors. Shout out to Westland, Canton, Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, Livonia, and Inkster, just to name a few. Welcome to episode number 669 of the Garden City Community Chat Show. It's Thursday, July 25th, 2024. We hope that you're all happy, safe, and doing well tonight. I am your host, Carrie. Also joining me tonight are my co-host, Garden City's very own meteorologist, Dr. Tom Iwinski. How you doing, Tom?
Doing well. The good weather train continues.
Oh, beautiful. It's just been beautiful. And also former city councilman Mike Jones. How are you doing, Mike?
Pretty good after I finally got in. Had a little trouble signing in.
You made it.
Yep.
Tonight, we like having these guys on every so often to get their take on Detroit sports teams and any other sport topics. Derek, Dan, and Steve from D&D Sports Chat will be here tonight, so stay tuned for that. Have your questions ready. Meteorologist Dr. Tom is going to be up first, though, with the most current and accurate forecast for you. Mike and I will close out the show a little bit later and get you caught up on the latest community events that are happening so you can get them on your calendars. And while you have your calendars out, we do have a couple of upcoming shows you can pencil in. Next week, August 1st already. Can you believe it? We have scheduled City Council candidate Dominic King, who is running for council, will be here to discuss why he's decided to run for council and his vision of the city going forward. And then on August the 8th, we have a good one for you. Nick Leica, a former bull rider with the Professional Cowboys Association, is going to be here. Something a little different for you. He's a Garden City was a Garden City resident. He's from Garden City. He also went to Garden City High School. He's an alumni. He's the real deal. So get those on your calendars, and we hope that you'll be able to join us. I also want to mention real quick, if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and post your questions and comments in the comments section. You can also join us live right now on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat and over on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@GC Community Chat Show. You can also email your questions to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, which is up on the screen under my name, and we'll do our best to get those answered for you. Remember, we're here to promote not only our community, but yours as well. And speaking of community, if your community organization business has any events or announcements that you'd like to get out to our listeners, what should they do, Mike?
They should email us, Gary.
Exactly. Email the details to us at gccommunitychat.com or message us on Facebook, and Mike will be more than happy to get that information along to you. Remember, you're always welcome to come on the show and promote your city, your community, business organization anytime. And we also encourage any local business to check out and join the Garden City Business Alliance, which and you can go to their website, see what great things they can do for you at GardenCityBusinessAlliance.org. I got tongue-tied there a little bit. All right, let's get Tom in here with a check on this beautiful weather we're having. And then we'll be chatting with the boys from D&D Sports Chat. Stand by.
Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
All right. What you got for us, man?
All righty. Let me pull that up. A lot of clicking. All righty. Here's where we're at right now. Can't beat it. I mean, it's upper 70s, low humidity, temperatures around 76 at this point. A little bit of clouds, a mix of sun and clouds right now. So nice evening out there. And overall, winds have been fairly light as well. So again, just a picture perfect evening out there for you to kind of hang out and just unwind, because we're going to continue to see these clouds decrease as we get into the overnight hours. So this, as the sun sets at around 8:59 precisely at tonight, so we're going to be seeing kind of the clearing skies really kind of commencing as we get into the overnight hours, and our temperatures are going to fall into the low 60s as we get to tonight. So nothing really much more to talk about. I mean, it's going to be a picture perfect night out there, and overall a nice, cool, mild night out there. Then as we start the new day, we're going to start with a lot of sunshine. Pretty much it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow. There's going to be quite a bit of sunshine across the board. Temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s, maybe squeezing out an 80-degree day. So again, really kind of getting into the nice weather continuing out there. So to end the work week, temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s to lower 80s and a lot of sunshine. So enjoy it. As we go into the upcoming weekend, again, we're going to be seeing kind of a good weekend on tap. A lot of sunshine continuing. Temperatures probably getting into the lower 80s this weekend, and dry conditions this weekend. So I feel like I'm talking about like LA's weather or something. It's so strange, just kind of talking about some boring weather, but nothing really too much more to talk about for the rest of the weekend. We're going to see some clouds increasing as we get into Sunday. And overall, we're definitely going to see our temperatures increasing. We're probably going to get into the mid to upper 80s. So I know there's probably some people that are probably missing the heat, if you will. I'm not one of them, but some people do like the hot weather of summer out there. And we're definitely going to start to kind of tangle back into that as we go into the Sunday and into portions of next week. So dry conditions are expected on Sunday as well, just a much warmer. And with those warmer temperatures and that humidity, you get that kind of diurnal kind of cloud cover that pops up throughout the day. Other than that, we're going to get into a little bit of a wetter pattern for early next week. We're going to probably start to get into some rain and some rumbles of thunder as we kind of get into Monday afternoon and into the evening hours. Overall, we're going to see those heat and humidity levels beginning to increase, probably getting into the low to mid 80s again. And then we're going to see those like pop-up storms where some areas in the city see nothing, but kind of 3 miles away see some good downpours of rain. So this is kind of a classic summer pattern that's going to be kind of coming in for kind of next week. And overall, that's going to be kind of where we're at for next week. And by the time the sun sets, our chances kind of really drop off. So it's going to be more kind of a diurnal kind of pop-up chance in the peak heating of the day for Monday. And then as we get into Tuesday, we're also going to see a new system coming in. So Tuesday will probably be the more wetter day out of any other day of the work week. Our probabilities will probably be around 50 to 60% chance that we'll see rain in all locations. So we're going to be probably seeing with some more rain than we will probably on Monday. Overall, on Tuesday, we're going to see those temperatures again in the low 80s. And then in kind of the heat and humidity of the day and another kind of system moving through, we're going to be seeing scattered storms, rain and storms moving through. So some heavy downpours will definitely be in the cards for that. But other than that, for the rest of the work week, for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's probably going to be dry. This is probably an overkill, like I talked about on last week's show, where it probably continues to kind of get better as it gets closer. Or during kind of the peak heating of the day, we're probably going to get into the mid to upper 80s and probably dry conditions kind of moving into the region. Overall on Thursday as well, we're going to continue to stay warm at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s continuing, but probably a lot of dry time mixed in. But as we know, when it's hot and it's humid, it just takes one little subtle forcing mechanism to get a little storm to develop. But at this point, it's probably going to remain more dry than anything outside of Monday and into Tuesday. And then as we get into Friday, again, kind of a similar situation with temperatures into the mid to upper 80s and maybe a chance for a hit and miss storm during kind of the peak heating of the day. So other than that, that is kind of where we're at. We're going to be seeing kind of the nice weather continuing for this evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A system moves in on Monday, kind of peaks on Tuesday when it's kind of likely that we're going to see some rainstorms moving through, and then probably more of that pop-up chance for the rest of the work week. And temperatures are going to be into the mid to upper 80s outside of Tuesday with kind of low 80s with that rain moving through as well. So can't beat it. I mean, we're going to be kind of into the summer mix of it. But other than that, quickly kind of expanding and talking about some other weather across the country. Obviously, across Michigan, there really isn't too much to talk about. It's fairly quiet out there. But as we kind of go into kind of the center of the country, there really isn't much going on. There's some storms kind of developing across kind of the West. This is very classic for the West. This is kind of the monsoon season. Those little green polygon areas are flooding concerns, and the yellow is severe weather concerns. So kind of have to kind of watch that in the kind of the heat, but it's very hot out here still across a good chunk of the West, and across the East, again, quite a bit of storminess across the southern United States, kind of along the eastern coast. So yeah, again, just like last week, all kind of busy weather is all around us. And as we kind of zoom back into Michigan, there really isn't too much going on for tonight. So enjoy. But if you want to kind of explore this site on your own and get all the kind of the local weather information, this is DopplerTomsWeather.com, and it will keep you updated hourly over kind of the next 5 to 7 days. So enjoy. So not too shabby in our weather department. I mean, can't complain.
Not shabby. By the way, Cheryl wanted me to thank you for the beautiful weather today. She planned a garden club event. They went to Hidden Lake Gardens, and it was a beautiful day. So,
well, you're welcome, Cheryl. I'll leave my tip jar outside.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Take it easy, guys.
Good night. Bye. All right, good weather report. I love it. All right, let's introduce our guests for tonight. They are no strangers to the show. They have become pretty popular since when they come on. So please welcome Derek Parton, Dan Bartley, and Steve Iwinski from D&D Sports Chat. Derek, Dan, and Steve, how you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good.
Good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good to have you back. Let's see. So we had you on the show June 6th, and at that time you didn't have too much to say about the Tigers and how they were playing. So we're halfway through the season.
We still don't know what to say.
We're still kind of dumbfounded.
I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed.
Yeah.
We're still halfway through the season. What do you think of them now?
Lead it off, Derek.
I mean, they're kind of right where we were at preseason, kind of, where we were back in June, when we were last on the show. We're just over 100 games into the season, and we're, a game under 500. We're still 5.5 back of the wild card, but we're showing signs of life as far as the offense is concerned. The pitching's been kind of hit or miss. The starters, obviously, Tarek Skubal still phenomenal, Jack Flaherty phenomenal. Bullpen's been a little bit shaky, but I think we're kind of right around where we need to be. I think we're peaking a little bit too little too late as far as the standings go. There's a lot of good teams in the wild card chase that are ahead of us, but trade deadline coming up here next week. I really don't know what you do. We've seen a lot of rumors for Tarek Skubal, package deals with the Orioles, with the Dodgers, with the Yankees, prospects coming our way. I think they're going to stay pat on trading Skubal. I think Flaherty's probably going to end up getting traded, if anybody. But if I'm Scott Harris right now, unless something is monumental and really coming, down the pike as something huge that would really benefit this team offensively or defensively, I think you're pretty much going to stay pat.
Well, what do you think of the rookies? I mean, they've really stepped up, don't you think?
Yeah. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, to kind of go off of what Derek was saying, I think as of late, you can see the Tigers are taking positive strides. I mean, obviously you swept the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati, which was a big stride. And you came in and you handed the Dodgers some big defeats as well. The Dodgers are probably your World Series favorite. and you've been playing pretty good. You played a pretty good series against Cleveland. You should have probably won 3 of those games, but hiccups are going to happen. And I know Kerry Carpenter's on the screen, so I'll touch on Kerry Carpenter. He's the guy that I feel like is missing in this lineup.
Yep.
I feel like if he was in the lineup right now, you'd see a little bit more consistency. And I think that's what's kind of holding the Tigers back is his consistency up at the plate. Riley Green has been struggling. He seems like since the All-Star break, he's come off. I don't know if he's hurt or if it's a mental game playing a factor, but he hasn't looked quite as good earlier on in the season when he seemed to be clicking. With the young talent that you mentioned, Kerry, I think the Tigers are a team right now that is exciting, but you have to be patient and express patience, and you're not going to go anywhere this year. But it is nice to see the talent starting to come up, and there's going to be more coming up. Jackson Joby should be coming up relatively soon. It's just a matter of waiting. And to touch on Tarek Skubal, I'm all for not trading him. You got 2 more years of him under contract with the club.
I agree.
You should not move him unless you're going to get probably a haul, and you're not going to get that except for if you trade with the Orioles. And I just don't. I can't see trading a guy that's making a little over $3 million for the next 2 years. It's just not smart. You build around the guy and you try to win with him, not trade him.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. That's for sure. I don't even want to see him either. So, but if it's not, fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not my phone, I swear. But no, the Tigers. Okay, so take them in strides, I guess, because you get excited, then they let you down. You get excited, but me, Danny, Derek, we kind of understand this is the Tiger team. This is the team you're going to get. You're going to see the team flourish in certain games, and they're not because they have young talent. But Colt Keith has taken a huge step, and he's a rookie. Like he's turned into a terrific batter. Green, yeah, like Danny was. I don't know ever since the All-Star break, he's kind of been in a funk. He's got to get back in his groove again. Obviously with Kerry hurt, that's a huge blow to the team. And then with Torkelson down, it's Malloy. Not really. Malloy has been he's been like a huge spark plug. Without him, they would be probably dead in the water. And and as far as with Torkelson and guys like that you thought was going to be something, and they're not here with Carpenter and Torkelson, that kind of hurts your lineup as well. So with the lineup producing like it is, I think we should all be kind of happy that, and we have decent starting pitching. Well, we have 2 starting pitchers, but so now the question is, do you trade? What do you do at the deadline?
Right.
And I think I think you trade low. You trade your guys like Carson Kelly, Mark Canha, and Flaherty, and then you just get prospect. Because honestly, like Danny said, we kind of have to buy our season. This is it, kind of thing. Even if we somehow slid into the wild card, we weren't going to do much in the playoffs anyway. But this is going to be fun to see the second half of the season, to see all the young talent, come up, because they're going to call up some more guys, I'm sure, after these trades.
Right.
Like Dylan Dingler. I think he's a backup catcher in Toledo that's been doing really well. So you might see him if they trade Carson Kelly. But yeah, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Well, their bullpen definitely came through today.
Yeah, they really performed a complete game. Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And offense picked them up. Well, Baez picked them up, believe it or not.
Yeah, really.
First home run since April 14th or something.
Of all people, eh?
Double his home runs.
Yeah.
Today was probably, honestly, the most unlikely of days for anything to happen. You got Baez hitting a 3-run bomb. That was all your offense. And you had the entire bullpen, I think, out of 7 pitchers, take you the whole way without giving up a run. So, I mean, I did not expect that to be the actual, catalyst for, splitting the series. I'm glad we split. We should have taken at least 3 out of 4, but take what you can get at this point. Had we played the Guardians pretty much most of the season, I think we've won 7 out of the last 9 or 10 games against them. So we have their number this year.
Yeah. Kevin Woodruff wants to know your thoughts on the Tigers if they can get Jackson Holiday for Tarek.
No.
I don't think so. Not at this point.
The Tigers aren't going to trade Skubal.
No.
And Baltimore is not going to trade Holiday.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Jackson Holiday. I'll be honest with you. we've talked about this, Steve and Danny and I. We talked about Jackson Holiday being, dare I say, a bust. And I know that I'm not blaming him for his struggles when they brought him up, back in May, but I think they brought him up way too soon. I think that was kind of a failed experiment. They didn't need to do it. They were doing really well. And still are, but they have some of the top 10 prospects that they would have to give us in order to relinquish Skubal. And I just like they said, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I say you just either see what happens next year. Hopefully, we take huge strides, make the playoffs, or you wait till the second year and you extend him. But like we've talked about, he's going to want a mega deal. He's got Scott Boras as his agent. He's going to want probably north of $200 million. I mean, he's going to definitely want a big payday, and it's all about if the Tigers and Scott Harris and Ilitch are willing to pay him.
Valid point. Maybe next year, he says.
Yeah. Always next year with the Tigers.
Yeah.
That seems to be our quote every year.
Building. Yeah. Same old.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Are we ready to move on?
What's our final predictions for the Tigers? Are we going to make it? Well, my prediction for the year was 82, 83 wins. I don't think we're going to touch that, but I think we're going to probably play 500 ball for the remainder
I'd
of the
say
year.
Right around maybe a couple games below 500. I mean,
a couple games above 500.
Right around 500.
You'll make a little bit of noise for the wild card chase. You're within 5.5 games. You'll probably get as close to maybe 3, but I don't see teams like, obviously the Yankees, Red Sox, Twins and Royals falling off that much. I think it's just too much.
Here's the deal. When we were winning all those games in a row, Minnesota and the Royals weren't losing. We weren't getting any help.
Right.
So we didn't give up at all. We're still, 11 games out, something like that.
11 games out of the actual division, but we're 5.5. We didn't lose much ground in the wild card chase because Boston and KC were losing when we were losing. So we gain a game, lose a game, gain a game, lose a game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know. All right.
Just short.
You're thinking 500 ball then?
Oh, yeah. Probably 80 to 81 wins, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right.
Maybe less because you'll lose Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
So
I mean that eliminates probably another 3 to 4 wins.
A little bit less, 6 games less.
Yeah. Adam Ott, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Corner pocket.
Exactly. Well, here's the schedule too. So not many games left.
No, about another month and a half of baseball left. And I mean, it's a favorable schedule in certain aspects, but you're definitely not one of the toughest schedules, but you're also not one of the weakest. I mean, you could clearly go probably 500 the rest of the way, but to make the wild card, one of those 3 teams, you're going to have to win probably 90 games or so, and it's just not going to happen for them. They're peaking too little, too late.
We just can't get Minnesota's number. I don't know what it is with that team.
Nope, not this year.
And then we're playing Cleveland and Kansas City. These are the teams we have to beat.
Yep. And then the White Sox. Watch the 78 loss White Sox come in and sweep us. That's the ones that really stick in your craw.
I know. That's the ones that kill you for sure.
Yep.
Let's see. John Murray says, I was banking on them ending 10 games over 500.
Keep dreaming.
That's
2 or 3 games over 500 is about the best they can hope for.
Yeah.
Well, just think about it this way, though. If they were to go, I mean, their record when they score 2 or more runs would have put them at a 99 win percentage pace, 99 pace for 99 wins. I think it was like 44 and 21 or something like that in whenever they score 2 or more runs. It's insane.
Michael Bingle, he watches every single Tiger game. He is a diehard Tiger fan, and he's leaving. He said this is bull crap.
I think Michael Bengal had the Tigers winning 100 games this year. I don't remember what his prediction was back the preseason, but I think he had them winning the division.
Yeah, I can't remember. We'd have to go back and check it out. Yeah, he gets all worked up for sure. All right, Mike. Good night.
I like the passion, but you got to be realistic sometimes.
Gotta be realistic.
It's painful. It's painful sometimes with our Detroit teams to be optimistic because there's not like the winning pedigree here in this town, unfortunately, right now.
Kevin Woodruff, I just wanted to pop in and say hi or say, hey, glad to see y'all and still doing this. I remember when y'all first started this.
Yeah, Woody and all of us go way back. Nice to see you popping in there, Kev.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. Michael Bingle said, no, I did not. 87, he said.
Damn correct. 87's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Well, Michael, we always appreciate your comments, so Don't get too upset with it, everybody. It's just our opinions. All right, let's move on now. Our favorite, the Detroit Lions. Now,
Yes, positive. There we go.
who wants to start?
I'll let Steve take this one.
Oh, I had. There you go.
Wait a minute. Did we lose him for a second?
Steve's currently buffering.
Yeah.
One
The
moment
eye
he's
closed.
loading.
The
It's
eye
like
is
dial up
closed.
over there.
Yeah, I got
There
it.
he is.
You there, Steve? Steve.
It's buffering in and out. I don't know how well you guys can hear me.
Oh,
You're
you're
good.
coming in clear.
That
But,
$45 internet's kicking for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I knew Danny would pull that one.
Xfinity.
Gotta love Xfinity
No, I
Internet.
always have issues with StreamYard. I honestly don't have problem with internet.
All
Damn
But
right.
I'll start and let
Um,
Steve catch
But you
his
lead
breath
it
for a
off,
minute.
Derek.
I just want to say
Or,
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan
Danny.
showing up
Yeah.
today at camp
Oh,
Hulkamania, brother.
to promote his beer and get everybody excited for the season. I know we were talking about this earlier in our guy chat.
I want the under.
I don't know if I really want Hulk Hogan being around the Lions. I don't know
No,
how you guys feel about that, but
I don't.
No,
Like it.
so I dove into it a little bit more. Obviously, yeah, he was in town. This was the hottest topic. I drove home from Psycho Bar tonight, and that's all they were talking about. And I said won the ticket was this Hulk Hogan thing, being associated with the Lions. Like the Lions contacted him and all this. No, he actually contacted the Lions front office to make sure that it was okay to stop by training camp. If you noticed, the Lions did not promote this at all on their Facebook or social media pages at all. It was outed by local news. Brad Galley and all the local outfits were making this public. Hulk Hogan was just popping by. I mean, I'm not a fan of Terry Bollea or Hulk Hogan or whatever the case may be. I know it was, he was in town to, I think, also see the family of the slain police officer.
Because they're winners, Derek.
What's that?
Because they're winners.
Well, yeah,
'Cause they're
winners
winners.
too. I mean, now
That's why
everybody,
they were there.
now everybody is jumping on the bandwagon and wanting to, be a part of it. But yeah, promoting his beer, seeing the family of the slain police officer in Dearborn Heights, and I think that was pretty much it. But you could tell. I mean, the players, not a lot of players were riling around him. Dan Campbell was doing some fun stuff with them. I'm not taking it for really much of anything. I think he was just popping by to just see, the Lions practice, and he was in the area. So I think people are making way too much of it than what it really was.
Well, he's a distraction already. He's a distraction. People are talking
that's
about.
exactly what I said,
All
Kerry.
over Facebook.
I-
Yeah.
I don't need a distraction.
No.
I mean, I know he's there to push his beer to the local places around Detroit, and I know he's done some other political things in Michigan for another
RNC.
candidate.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. As you said, Kerry, I feel like it's a distraction. The Lions, I don't want any distractions. I don't want any injuries.
Right.
Just
Bad
coast
juju.
in the regular season. Jared Goff can just sit around and hang out with his nice new beautiful wife and not touch a ball as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where do you see him going this year? You see him going?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any comment on it.
Yeah,
Really?
no comment.
No comment. Not on the Super Bowl. Crickets?
Oh,
Maybe
Super
chance.
Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust.
I mean, at this point, we're
That's
right
what-
in the same
At
boat.
this point, that's what it has to be.
Yeah.
So let's just hope they make the playoffs again then, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's a given. That's a complete, utter failure if you miss the playoffs. I think anything under 10 games winning is a failure for this team.
They better
All
stay,
behind.
right?
Yeah,
But they got a lot of talent.
They sure
you
do.
have a ton of talent,
Yeah.
and you have a
can
ton
look
of
at it.
young talent
Yep.
coming on the team now.
Right. Right.
Coming onboarding on. Now you got Branch that's going to be starting at safety, which he's taken with stride.
A
From
full
what I'm
season of
reading so
J-Mo.
far. Yeah, full season of JMO. He looks like he's doing really well. I guess he puked the other day in practice, so the
Got
guy's
back
giving
up
it
and
his
playing.
all. So I mean, the team has drive. It's there. It's totally there.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
It's
they
health.
took
That's the
necessary
question.
strides. You took positive strides next year. You basically was served your cake. You couldn't fully eat the full cake. This is the year you go and take the cake and eat it. And that means win the Super Bowl for you that can't put the cake logic together. But I'm ready for a contender. I don't want to see another team in Detroit fall off Like everybody thought the Tigers were supposed to be a playoff team this year. We all know how that's going. The Lions have to make sure they stay the course and don't take steps back. And that's my biggest concern is if the Lions come out with that winning attitude, taking teams lightly,
Take it for granted, yeah.
And go start off 0-2, 0-3, and then everybody's jumping off the ship saying, "Uh-oh, SOL."
Yeah, concentrate, keep your eyes on the prize, man.
I don't think you're going to see anything like that dramatic. I think that, compared to last year, their schedule this year is much tougher than it was last year. But you also got to remember the Lions had a very, very lucky run as well. They were a great team, don't get me wrong, but they had a few minor injury bugs. I mean, nothing significant. We lost Amon-Ra for a couple games. We lost, obviously, J-Mo for the first 6 games. We lost Montgomery for a game or 2, and we lost Jahmyr Gibbs, and who really didn't start exploding until like the 4th or 5th week. So those guys have developed. They've matured in the offseason. They've gotten better, granted, but the schedule is going to be tougher. And also, Dave Burkett posted an interesting stat on Twitter the other day that no team since the 1995 Green Bay Packers have actually made it to the Super Bowl after losing in the NFC Championship game the year before. So the Lions could be that first team in 30 years to do that, to break the mold. How cool would that be? But, I mean, that's a stat that you can't really, take too lightly. I think that there's a lot of validity behind that stat, and it's harder to do. I mean, it's always going to be a harder road, but you also have to avoid the injury bug. You have to hope that Jared Goff, doesn't regress, that he stays healthy, because if he goes down, you bring in Hendon Hooker. I don't think that this team is going to be as mentally prepared and stable with Hooker at the helm than with Goff. I mean, the trust is 100% in him, but how much can this team overcome adversity if anything significant were to happen, when they were to actually lose some significant players? But I got them going 11-6. I think they're going to lose one extra game this year, but it should be a deep playoff run again, hopefully NFC Championship, and we'll see if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Well, they had a hell of a year last year. They're excited for this year.
Yep.
But you gotta feel that they're under a lot of pressure this year.
Big time.
With the fans hyped up. They're under a lot of pressure.
Fans, and you got to remember, now all these teams know your playbooks, know what you're going to run, know who to watch.
You're the hunted now. You're the hunted. You're no longer the hunters.
And we're not.
Yeah, you're the hunted.
These teams aren't going to take us lightly. So if we go into, to play the Titans or play one of those, subpar teams and say, oh, this will be fine, we're going to get rolled over. That's what's going to happen. I mean, so they just have to have the mentality. I think they have the right coaching to keep that mentality with the players. So I feel like they'll definitely, I think they'll have the mindset. It's just the injuries, like you said, that it's going to be 11-6. Anything less than that, I think, would be a disappointment. And, you never know once you get into playoffs and it's anyone's game.
Well, let's hope they can at least beat Dallas this year, eh?
Yeah. Huge. And the Packers, too. You don't take the Packers lightly. Jordan Love versus Jared Goff's going to be a hot commodity. You got that twice this year. A lot of people got the Packers actually winning the NFC North this year. That's going to be a tough one. Those are going to be tough 2 games right there.
Even the Bears improved, too.
Bears, too. I mean, they're slated to win possibly 9 games as well. So
you can argue the Bears got better. Yeah. Pretty good offensively,
Yep.
So it's and the division's going to be weird, definitely seeing JJ lined up on the other side with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Because with Jefferson, that dude is another, animal as well. I mean, our division is black and blue this year. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah. Michael says it's like listening to 97 Won the Ticket.
Wow. I don't know if it's good or bad. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Some people have
that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing with him.
Well, I guess if you don't like us, tune us off. That's what we do on 97.1.
Derek dropping.
Okay. So,
hey, you're still listening though, Mike.
Yeah, you're still listening. I don't see it. I don't see you not listening. Yeah. I guess that's good.
All right. Bad thing for sure. All right. So Derek said what? 11-6.
I'm thinking 11-6, and that could also be, that could be a landslide for the division win, or it could be, you could be in a tiebreaker with the Packers. I got the Packers winning 10. I think the Packers are going to go 10-7. You're going to go 11-6. I got the Bears winning 8, and I got the Vikings winning 7. So I think it's going to be a pretty competitive division, all across the board. But you got to win the games that matter, and you got to win the games that you're supposed to win.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, your prediction.
10-7. I think they're going to take a little step back.
Little regression.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think 11-6 is a pretty good. 11 or 10 is probably the sweet spot. I don't know what the over under is in Vegas, but it's probably right around 9.5. So I would go with the over.
Yeah, I would take it over.
So that's my opinion. I don't think they're going to take a step back, but I think they could take a step back if they deal with a major injury like Goff, or if, heaven forbid, any of the running backs or top wideout Amon go down. That's a different mindset, different mentality a team needs to carry to win games once a big guy goes down. Like you said, they will have to show resilience. So.
Yeah.
And also going back to other additions too, is that, now this year is going to be really interesting from the kicking standpoint. We got Jake Bates from the Michigan Panthers going up against Mike Badgley. That's going to still be a competitive thing. And will we see more kicking? Will Dan Campbell, Mr. 4th and 3 himself, will we see more kicking, or will we see more gutsy calls by Campbell? I think it's going to be a little bit of both this year.
Hell of a kicker now. Let's see if he can, prove himself.
He's hit 5 for 5 in practice, over 50 yards. So
that was another question, because we still have the kicker, the vet sign, Badgley.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't even know if Bates is going to end up starting or not. I think it's going to the time will tell once preseason starts, and they'll see how they do, I guess.
I want to see how he does in pressure situations. I mean, hitting 50-yard field goals in practice is nothing, but he did do it under. But the thing that I like about Jake Bates is that he's already played a few games with the Panthers. He's familiar with Ford Field, the environment. He's played under that kind of pressure. So, I think he's going to win that starting job over Badgley. I don't see how you can roll with Badgley after letting us down so many times last year.
Yeah. Michael's waiting for you to beat up on the Wings.
Oh no!
I don't think we're going to do much of that. That's not. No, that's not.
We're not going to beat up the Wings.
The Wings are another positive team heading in the right direction. We can segue to that.
All right, so we all agree they're going to win the division, Lions?
I'll say yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we'll move on then.
The Wings.
To Michael's favorite team, well, one of them, the Detroit Red Wings. What do you think of Kane coming back?
Good
deal?
Ecstatic. Yeah, I am absolutely thrilled that they got a deal done with him.
Yeah. And it was a good deal at that. Very, very reasonable deal.
Yeah, it was.
100%. I don't know a fan that would not like him coming back.
I don't either.
He's going to improve
a full season of Kane. Just think, you only had him for 50 games last year, and he still was able to score 20 goals. I think a full season of Kane, still working, conditioning and making sure that back is doing good for him. I think even at 36 years old, I think he's going to be a hell of a producer. And now with the sign of Vladimir Tarasenko, coming up on that second line, I think the depth has been definitely asserted for the Red Wings. Defense, I think, is still a little bit iffy. The goaltending situation, obviously, with Cam Talbot, a very aging veteran goaltender who's been to the big dance before, but you're going to get him now in the twilight of his career. I don't think he's much better than Alex Lyon, but that platoon of them 1-2 between the pipes, I think that's going to be a little bit more improved than it was last year. And I think your goals against should go down, but your offense, I think, is still pretty lock solid.
Your top six forwards are very, very good. Yep. Looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference to compare with the top teams in the East of this year, the Wings really do have a good competitive edge and should be able to hang in tough with some of the better teams this year that maybe they lost last year, as long as they don't go on a huge losing streak. Like obviously we've seen what happened with last season. But as Derek said, adding Tarasenko is a huge addition. Veteran presence, won the cup with Florida, coming off a good season. He's only going to help the younger players as well. You just re-signed Joe Veleno to a pretty decent deal. There's a lot of guys that are coming up still with the Wings that could make the roster. Nate Danielson, Jonathan Berggren, Marco Kasper. There's a lot of guys that are chomping at the bits to come up here, and there's not enough spots.
Yeah,
another thing that Derek forgot to mention is Simon Edvinson's also gonna have a full year here with D.
Full year.
I think over the next couple of years, you're gonna see your best two defensemen pair up with Seider and Edvinsson pairing up finally, which is my hope. I hope that Derek Lalonde decides to put them together by season's end and see what happens with the two of them.
So you think we're good in the goalie department then, between the pipes?
Yeah. That is the concern for me.
That's questionable.
Until you see Sebastian Cossa or Trey Augustine decide to move up a couple levels. I am really high on Sebastian Cossa. I think that he's probably your future goalie.
Oh yeah.
Right now, you're going to roll with Lyon and probably rotate with Talbot a little bit. I think that Steve Yzerman is really, really nervous about Billy Huso with his injuries. I don't think that he's confident that he can play a full season. And quite frankly, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think Huso's gone. I think they're trying to figure out a way to. I think they're trying to find a way to buy him out or move him before the season. Because why are you carrying so many goalies? And you also got Campbell as well, who's another starter that's going to be probably an AHL. But I think he's more of a depth piece. But the Wings do have a lot of goaltending that is around. It's just, is it going to carry you to a playoff berth is the big question.
That tells me that they're really worried about, obviously, injuries because, we've seen injury history with Lyon and with Huso. And, I think that having that overstock goalie situation is probably for that. But, Cam Talbot, he's 39. Is he 38, 39 years old? He's pretty old, right? He's been
in the league a while. I don't think he's quite almost to 40 yet, but he is in the twilight of his career. He's definitely got his best years are behind him, but he's a good piece. He's going to help Lyon. He's not going to steal you very many games. I would say he's a better addition than James Reimer was. I will say that, even though Reimer, to his defense, was good when he played last year in certain games, like against Toronto and against Florida, when he did win you those games. But I still hope that you get a full season of Alex Lyon if he's healthy and what you expect for him to continue from last year at the beginning of the season, where he kind of seemed like he was run down. And
there's a reason behind that, because he played basically with Florida because he was a backup, goaltender for a majority of his time in Florida, and he's not used to playing, more than 30 games a season. So we asked a lot of him. He had to carry a big workload last year, obviously when he was running a hot streak, and then they played him and they overplayed him, and I think he got fatigued, and that's why his stats kind of dwindled the second half of the season. But I think you're going to see more of a 60-40 starting percentage, 60% Talbot, probably 40% Lyon. I think it's going to be a little bit more than split down the middle and more in favoring of Talbot. But going back to the actual overall offense and the defense, the players that I'm excited to see this year are the guys that are restricted free agents after this year, and that's Mo Seider and Lucas Raymond. Raymond had a huge finish to last year's season, had 30 goals damn near. And I think he's a guy that's really going to take a big stride this year. I think you're going to see big things out of Michael Rasmussen and out of Joe Veleno this year. I think those are guys that are going to take that next step, that next level. They've had another year to mature. I think this year is going to, we're going to see some big things. I could see 20 goals come out of Rasmussen this year. I think he's going to be a guy that if you pair him with the right guys, you might see him in and out of that second and third line. But I think he's going to have a good season. And then, of course, Eric Gustafsson, who's kind of the replacement for Shane Gostisbehere, I think he's a little bit better. I think you lose a little bit of Gostisbehere's depth on the power play, but I think that Gustafsson, I think, will fill that void nice. I think he'll be more of probably a defensive prowess than an offensive prowess, and not cherry pick like Gostisbehere did. But I think you improved your defense a little bit more than last year, I will say.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah, that was questionable for sure. Did they still got Petrie?
Who?
Yes. Jeff Petrie, yes.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Justin Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got both of them making a ton of money to ride the pine.
Yeah.
The big question, Steve, I'll start with you. Do the Wings make the playoff this year?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question, because honestly, it could go either way depending on health. I think if Kane has a full healthy season, I think offensively the team could be pretty good. They've shown that. But they are in a tough division. I don't know. I think I would say yes. I think this is the year to take that next step. I think we'd all be disappointed as fans if they don't at least sniff the wild card or get some type of sniff of something, to be in there. What do you guys think?
Let me put it this way. If they don't make the playoffs, is Stevie gone?
No.
Not gone, but on the hot seat, big time.
Oh, I think he's on the hot seat now.
I don't think so, as much as a lot of fans are speculating. I think Steve has a longer leash here than most general managers around town. But I think if they miss the playoffs this coming season, I think he's definitely going to be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I know he's a big fan favorite, and I love Stevie. Don't get me wrong, but we want a winner here.
You're going to be going north of 6 years. You're on year 5 now. You're going to be on year 6 if they miss the playoffs this year. That's unacceptable in my book. I give every GM a fair shake. I give you a 5-year window. If you don't make the playoffs or make significant strides, then you're a failure in my book. I don't care if it's Steve Yzerman. I don't care who the general manager is. I mean, you get a fair shake. Everybody does to get a good 5 years. And in hockey, I feel like 5 years is more than enough time for a solid rebuild.
Oh, absolutely.
But here's the question: is it Stevie's fault, or is it Chris Ilitch's fault, or is it a cap management problem? What's the problem here?
Derek Lalonde?
A coaching problem?
There's a few.
So I mean, Stevie can't get all the blame. You know, because unfortunately, you do have a team that can compete. They need to be motivated.
That's his job, to build the team.
And I think when you come that close, I think to the wild card, because they tied. They actually lost a tiebreaker last year to make the playoffs. They were all but in, but you lost when you lost Dylan Larkin for that long stretch with injury, and then of course he had his personal problems. That's unfortunate. But you lost Dylan Larkin, you lost Patrick Kane for a while, and your team kind of fell apart. Alex DeBrincat went cold. You had guys on this team. Lucas Raymond wasn't playing to the level that he ended up ending the season on. So everybody wasn't really pulling their weight, and I think we lost a good chunk of games when Larkin and Kane were out, and that ultimately cost us the playoff spot. We were a team that was a playoff contender last year, and if not, we were a playoff team. We should have been. So this year, you need to make the playoffs. You don't make the playoffs, it's a super huge regression from last year, and it's a huge disappointment because you've bettered your team from last year.
Okay, so Steve I says we make the playoffs. Dan, what do you say?
I say you make the playoffs. I really think you do. And if you don't, as you guys were touching on a little bit, I wouldn't give Steve Yzerman maybe like a slap on the wrist, but you kind of got to start thinking, okay, is it Lalonde? Is it Yzerman? Yzerman had his time to structure the roster the way he wanted. I was looking the other day about what he was dealt when he first came in here, and it was pure ugliness with contracts and players.
Thanks, Kenny Holland.
I mean, he has had some time to build now, and it is time to start winning games. The excuses are running out, but it's time. It's time the Red Wings are successful. They have a good lineup, good roster, players that are coming and chomping at the bit. So if you do lose a piece or two due to injury or personal whatever it might be, you have the prospects waiting in the wings to come up here and just hit the stride and run. There's a lot of talent down there. Guys that we probably are going to end up trading for pieces to compete, honestly.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, Danny, is that you got to think about if we are in playoff contention come the trade deadline, the Wings, if they're over and let's say they're only a point or two either in or out, that's when you have to be buyers, in my opinion. This is a team that I feel like you would have to buy at the trade deadline. This is enough of the teasing. You have to go full bore and try to make that playoff run. You do not want to sell. You don't want to stand pat. Yeah, and I think this is the year too that, I mean, you really have to analyze. I think Derek Lalonde's going to be kind of scrutinized a little bit more because last year there were a lot of questionable games that he kind of let slip through the cracks. Yeah. I would blame at least a good 3 or 4 losses on his coaching. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. With Derek Lalonde, he would probably be the first one fired over Steve Yzerman, I would say, especially if we missed the playoffs. I think he would probably be more on the hot seat than Stevie. But like Danny said, the depth is there. Yeah. Young talent is waiting in the wings. We have a team that's already young, an average age of about 27, 28 years old, that has the nucleus. We have guys that are going to be maturing from last year, from the year before, I think are going to be capable 30-goal scorers. And that's DeBrincat, Larkin, Kane, Raymond. All of them could be 30-goal scorers this year. So, I mean, it's going to be time to tell. And like you said, injuries are going to be another thing to watch out for, but I think they make the playoffs. They need to.
Okay. So all three, we agree, make the playoffs. Mike Jones, what do you think?
They make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've had too many years of being out of the playoffs. It's time to end it.
Yeah.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John Murray, no comment about the WNBA.
Oh, that's not on the docket, I hope.
I mean, Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. I mean, get your tickets to the Indiana Fever games, right?
She's
yeah.
A lot of tickets, let me tell you.
Putting butts in the seats, that's right.
I'll be honest. I'll drop a bomb right now on you guys. I watched a WNBA game not too long ago, and it was Caitlin Clark.
I did too.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like them better than the Pistons.
Oh, yeah, they're more tolerable. It's more tolerable to watch.
Yeah. All right. What about the Wolverines?
I don't have high expectations.
We got a new coach. Well, he's not new, but he is new.
Yeah.
New to the big seat, the big chair. I mean, I liked his presser today. I mean, he definitely outlined what the season's gonna shape up to be. And I mean, I've had the same prediction probably since we last spoke in June, and I got him going 9-3. I think your 3 losses are going to come against that team in the South. I think you're going to lose to Texas, and I think you're going to lose to USC. Two new teams to the Big Ten, which is going to be a sour taste in everyone's mouth. But I think you're going to regress. You're going to regress a little bit this year. They have a 7% chance of winning the Big Ten championship. That's 4th best in the conference. I think that's a lot of it's going to depend on who they even have as their quarterback. I don't even know who the hell their starting quarterback is going to be this year. They only have about 5 starters returning from last year's team. I think it's really going to depend on how well this new team gels under the new coaching tutelage of Sharon Moore. You got new offensive coordinator, you got a new defensive coordinator, you got a lot of bench coaches that are all new regime. But with this expansion now to 12 playoff teams, I think it came at the right time for Michigan football. You're still going to make the playoff, even with a 9-3 record. But the 3 losses for me, I think, seem pretty realistic.
So what do you think, Ohio? What do you think they're going to do?
Finish
first.
Unfortunately.
I would say they're probably going to be the crop of the
11-1, somewhere around there. I honestly don't know if anyone's going to go undefeated this year in the Big Ten. I think it's going to be really, really hard to go undefeated.
Yeah,
I think you're a couple 11-1 teams, but I don't know about anybody 12-0.
Right. And we have to talk about the Spartans. Give them equal time. They got a new coach, Jonathan Smith. What do you think?
Another John Smith, head coach in Sparkytown. Yeah. Again, just like any other head coach, I think you got to give this guy at least a 3 to 4 year window to kind of establish his own group of talent. I think they're going to struggle again this year. I think probably anywhere between 4 and 6 wins. I don't have too many high expectations. Their schedule's not very favorable. I think the team to watch in the Big Ten this year is going to be Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. I think they got a pretty easy cakewalk schedule. They could win anywhere between 7 and 9 games, I think.
Yeah, Oregon's going to be good.
Oregon should be good too. Washington's going to fall off big time. I think Washington went from going to the national championship game. Their over under, I think, in Vegas is like 5.5 or something like that. They fell off big time. They lost everybody.
Wow. All right. So they won't make the playoffs, right?
No, not the playoffs. They might make a bowl game, but I don't think they're winning more than 5 or 6.
Okay. All right. And then we'll touch on NASCAR. That's our favorite.
NASCAR. Well, we got 2 weeks off for the Olympics, so no NASCAR really to talk of. But I guess we're at the midway point.
Derek said the O word?
Yeah. Well, they haven't been off, I feel like, all year. I don't think they've had an off weekend since the Daytona 500. So I guess this 2 weeks came at the right time, for some. But, yeah, it sucks. It's going to be a long 2 weeks for the Olympic break. But same old drivers still at the top of the helm. Kyle Larson's up there, and Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott.
Yep.
Been a good year so far.
Kyle Larson is just dominating NASCAR. It
happens I feel like every few years you get one guy that dominates. You had Johnson, Gordon, Earnhardt, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I want to pose a question. I like NASCAR. Don't get me wrong. I'm not as in depth as Derek is or Kerry is.
Yeah.
What's going on with Chase Elliott? Chase Elliott was like the superstar that everybody likes. Why is he falling off so much?
Yeah, 1 win. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about that is that in NASCAR, it's weird because with this whole, you got the playoff point system, you got the regular season points, and then you got the playoffs.
Right.
And Chase does only have 1 win as opposed to Kyle Larson, who already has 4. But if you look at the average finishes, Chase Elliott is number 2 in the league. He's got the second best average finish. It's 10.7. Kyle Larson's 10.2. But he's been consistent. He's been getting top 10s, top 5s, but he's had a hard time finding victory lane. But a lot of that attributes to his crew. His crew's been kind of screwing him, and that's been the case for the last couple of years. He's not quite been the same since his snowboarding accident last season where he missed a bunch of races, but I think he's fine. He's definitely improved from where he was last year at this point. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he'll be a solid playoff contender. He should probably make the top 4, if not, make it to the top 8. But he needs to get a couple more wins under his belt, though, to really solidify that seeding spot. But I think for the most part, his crew's been letting him down. Like last week, he had a chance at winning the race, Kyle Larson went through that pack like nothing at Indianapolis. Chase, they were both on the same strategy, same tires, and Chase was mired back in like 15th, 16th spot, and he only finished 10th because a bunch of guys ran out of fuel. But his crew makes the wrong adjustments in the later stages of the race, and that kind of cost some good finishes.
What'd you think of Blaney being pissed? I mean, people were saying he's going to be another Hamlin crybaby.
I didn't agree with Blaney. I think he should have just nutted up and shut his mouth. I think that was kind of just – you couldn't throw the caution there. I don't know if Danny, Steve, or anybody watched it, but
I did, yes.
It came down to a final restart, and, you know, they had – basically everybody was short on fuel, and Brad Keselowski was the leader. He was on the inside line, and you had Ryan Blaney on the outside line in second. And I think Kyle Larson was third on the inside line behind Keselowski. Well, Keselowski darted down pit road literally a couple hundred yards before the finish line, green flag, and they threw the flag. And apparently Larson was the control car, which he shouldn't have been. It should have been Blaney, but they weren't going to throw the caution. That was like a split-second decision you had to make. If you're NASCAR, if you're the drivers, if I'm Blaney, you pedal to the metal. And if you look at the restart, it was an even restart. He just didn't get it going into turn one. Exactly. Larson drove it in there harder. So I don't know what Blaney's bitching about. I think it was a fair restart.
Yeah.
I don't think Larson jumped the start at all. I think it was completely fair. And I like Ryan Blaney. I'm not dogging him. I just think he doesn't need to be pulling a Denny Hamlin. I think he just needs to keep his mouth shut because you got beat. You got beat by a better car, a better driver. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Drive it into turn one a little harder next time. I mean, he would have never won. Even if he was the control car, I don't think he would have won that race. I think Larson was still faster than him.
Yeah, Larson, man. Well, he got his win at Indianapolis, didn't he?
Yeah, he made up for it from the Indy 500 heartbreak in May. Yeah,
great. Yeah.
That was nice to see that. So he's only missing one crown jewel win, Daytona.
Yeah. All right. Your prediction for who's going to take it all in NASCAR, the champ.
Oh man, it's hard to bet against Kyle Larson. I think until really somebody can knock him off. But the problem is with him is that in recent years, since he won the title a couple years ago, I mean, he kind of falters in the playoffs. You know, he's made the Final Four a couple times, but everybody's saying it's Denny Hamlin's year. It's Denny Hamlin's year. I don't think that guy's ever going to win a championship. I don't know, man. It's tough to bet against Larson, but if I were to put a sneaker in there, I would say Tyler Reddick might come out at the right time. He'd be a dark horse pick.
Yeah, Reddick. Yeah, that's true.
I like Reddick.
Yeah.
William Byron. What about William Byron?
I got to see the 24 car again. Byron hasn't shown a lot of speed lately. He had a good speed in the beginning of the season. He's kind of fallen off. He wrecked at Indy last week, and
that was an intense finish at Indy.
Yeah, he hasn't had really good finishes as of late. His car, he's been wrecking a lot. He's been falling off a little bit on the speed charts. Martin Truex has kind of fallen off a little bit there too, but Blaney's still up there.
I would say the odds are for Larson.
I'd say between Larson, Hamlin, and Reddick are probably your top three favorites as of right now. And then Chase Elliott, obviously. Hopefully he can get another win or two here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Okay, Pistons.
Oh, Lord.
I didn't want to touch on them.
I wasn't mentally prepared for that.
Bickerstaff. What do you think? Are they going to do anything this year or not?
Well,
be better. They can't be worse.
I seen something the other day where the experts were picking them to slightly improve with some of the new additions, but
the name JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
love the name.
And he brought in.
Can you imagine? Oh goodness,
new general manager too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
he's made some good moves. I mean, I'm not going to discredit what he's done. I think he's made a little bit of noise since he got hired in. He's brought back a couple former players that played here a few years ago that are kind of on the outside of their career spectrums. But I mean, you can't do any worse than you did last year, could you? I mean, at this point,
I don't think they could have beat anybody in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Well, that coach was checked out. I felt like too.
Oh,
I think they just gave him too much money and he didn't want to do it.
Yes.
And the owner, how smug he is, he didn't want to, say no for an answer. So he gave him the house, and he didn't do crap probably the whole season to coach these guys.
Goris don't know shit. Goris don't know anything about basketball. He stays up in his California mansion. But the thing with that is that, you based it off of a couple good years with a good team is what Monty Williams had. And I don't think he was fit to coach a team of this caliber, of how low caliber this team was. And he lost the team from the get-go. The first month of the season,
he lost. That he didn't want to coach at all.
No, he didn't.
and he was forced into it with a big contract. So now it all comes out like, oh, well, Gores, thanks. So I mean, at least they got a better coach now. He brought in his assistant coach as well with him. That's pretty thought of. So I mean, they got a young squad, but they signed the right guys, I think. So weirdly, I think, like Danny said, slightly improvement, I would hope.
Well, I think
you got to put people around Cade. Put some pieces around Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Hope he's healthy.
They made some trades.
Yeah.
Make some moves that can help out. Be at least relevant. I mean, you want to be competitive. I mean, you don't want to be the talk of Sports Center every single night. Are they going to lose 30 straight again?
Yeah, really. Well, I think Bickerstaff can motivate these guys much more than Monty did.
Oh, yeah. Monty didn't care.
He didn't motivate.
You bought him.
Yeah. He just collected his paycheck. All right. Well, we'll say they slightly improved this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that really with them, they have a good mix of young talent and experienced players, which is one thing they didn't have last year. It was all young guys, and you weren't building any veterans around the young kids, and that was, I think, why we struggled so bad. You got, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, you got Jalen Duran, and now you got guys like Thompson, Joe Harris, Monty Morris coming in here. I think that those are going to be veterans that can at least earn you about, hopefully, a dozen more wins than what you had last year. That would be a pretty significant improvement. No playoffs, but I think you're going to make bigger strides this year, hopefully.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, I think we covered everything. It was a good conversation tonight.
Yeah, good lightning round.
Want to say shout out to Patty Fix is in there. Mike Leica's in there.
Yeah, I recognize that name from high school. You said his name earlier. I'm Steve's in here and Derek's in here now. Leica, do you guys? I know that guy.
Yeah,
I cannot recall.
Mike Leica, he does the cleaning Aqua Chem Solutions, right?
It's his son.
He went to high school with us, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
Mike Leica?
Not positive.
Or was it Mike's son?
Mike's son.
Who's Mike's son's name? The guy that's coming on the show?
Nick, yeah.
Nick Leica. I'll have to look him up on Facebook. That name doesn't sound familiar to me.
NIC.
Pull out the old high school yearbook.
Yeah, go dig around looking for the yearbook.
Chad's in there too. Remember Chad?
Oh, what's up, Chad? Another old foe of D&D.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, Michael Bingle, John Murray's in there. A couple other ones I can't see. All right. So you guys are pretty popular every time you come on. So looking for another 1,000 views or more.
Yeah, so we can hit it. I mean, this is, as long as Detroit teams do good, I feel like, we always turn out a pretty good rating after the show. So that's all we look for. And
Mike,
we like talking about it.
Nick says, yeah, I'm 57. I doubt I went to school with you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Has to have been the son. The last name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Live on the air, Dad. Should we go ahead and plan for our next check-in show?
Yeah.
Are we doing this once a month or what?
Yeah, we'll get you on there. When do you want to come on?
Probably end of August, right before the Lions season starts. Or when is the actual first game, Steve? September something, isn't it?
Yeah, September
10th.
When's the
the
first
10th.
one?
Yeah, that's perfect.
How about
right at the end of August.
How about September 5th even? We could go on the week before.
Well, we can do August 29th or we can do September 5th.
I like September 5th. It's fresh right before the season starts.
All right, you guys good for September 5th?
I think we'll be all right. Yeah.
All right, I'll put you down. You're
Carrie, you gonna let me ask my question?
Yes,
No.
go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Go for it.
Here, let's make you big. Go ahead.
What 2 days of the year are there no NBA, NFL, NHL, or Major League Baseball games?
There's only 2.
Well, this year there were 3, but
Can you give us a hint on the month? I feel like the month is probably somewhere in like August. No, it wouldn't be August.
2 days.
December. Would it be a day in December? A couple days in
It's
December?
not Christmas. It's not
No?
like Christmas that you're thinking of.
I mean,
It's not
every
New
month,
Year's.
I feel like every month has some sport playing actively.
No, there's
March? It would be March.
no. The day before and the day after the Major League Baseball All-Star game.
Oh,
so July.
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's no game. Yeah, when baseball is having their All-Star break, there's no other sport that plays.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
So
The more you know.
What is it, Mike?
That's it. It's the day after and the day before the Major League All-Star game.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, good question.
That is good. I like it.
Yeah.
Actually, they didn't play. They didn't have any games on Thursday this year, so
Right.
so we're 3 days.
Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for this this show. Good seeing you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep up the good work. All right.
Yep. It's always a fun time.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Yep.
Take care.
Good night, everybody. See ya.
Take care. Good night.
All right,
Bye,
bye.
guys.
We'll see you in September.
You in September.
Yeah, September. Let me make sure I write that down. September 5th, so I don't schedule anybody. September 5th. Okay. All right. Ready to move on. The next city council meeting will be Monday, August the 12th, 7 p.m. in the council chambers located at 6,000 Middlebelt Road. These meetings are a good way for you to get involved and voice any concerns that you may have as well. Did you watch the interviews?
I saw the first one.
Yeah, Tim Gibbons.
Right. I think he's a lack. There's no way that they're not going to pick him. I don't know what the other guy looked like, but
well, he was in North Carolina, so it was a Zoom meeting. But yeah, Tim did talk much better, that's for sure.
yeah.
So if it's just between the two of them, he's probably got, I would say the money would be on him.
Yes.
All right, Mike, you ready?
I am ready.
We're going to get you in here, buddy.
Okie dokie.
Stand by for Mike.
Well, that'll be when you say the day.
Time for some
You make me cry. You say you're gonna
Lincoln here.
You
Mike,
know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
All righty, very good.
Shannon Coffey, the notary babe. We'll handle all of your notary needs. Call her at 734-469-8821. Acrylic painting for seniors, there's an $8 charge. It's the first and second Friday of every month from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the Radcliffe Center.
Yep.
Okay, Dennis Diekman, the carpet cleaners. He does carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, upholstery cleaning, hardwood floor cleaning, residential and commercial. You can contact him at 734-299-6496. Straight Farmhouse is open for people to go through it on Wednesdays and Saturdays from noon to 3. If you want to schedule an event there, go to www.straightfarmhouse.org. Watercolor for seniors, $5 charge, third and fourth Friday of every month from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the Radcliffe Center. Call 734-793-1870. Angel Aids, Stephanie Peters offers a plethora of services for the
Favorite word.
had to get that in for seniors and handicapped senior citizens. You can contact her at 248-818-5334. Tipton Academy is having their 7th annual rummage sale on July 25th to 27th.
Started today.
Thursday, yeah. Thursday through Saturday. 1,000 thousands of items priced to sell. Most items are $5 or less.
Can't beat that.
Yeah. Small Business Saturday, July 27th, a Saturday from 9 to 3. Join us for a Christmas in July celebration supporting your local small businesses.
This is Garden City Nutrition, located at 30020 Ford Road.
Okay.
Behind Plato's in the parking lot, they're going to be.
Okay.
Here's peace of mind for parents.
Life Safe Academy, certified babysitter CPR first aid course. Cost is $75, but this makes a babysitter much more marketable.
Yeah, it does.
To parents who are concerned about leaving their kids.
Right. When is that? Saturday, July 27th at Radcliffe, 9 to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Garden City Cougars Youth Camp. Register at Field on July 29th at 5 p.m.
Yep.
On-site parent registration. Garden City High School Field, July 29th and 30th from 5:30 to 9.
Yep. $40. Another job fair.
No, yeah, Garden City Hospital are hiring all types of people, and they have up to a $15,000 sign-up bonus. So they're looking for RNs, occupational therapists, speech therapists, radiology techs, pharmacy techs, food servers, a whole bit.
Wow. Yeah, bring your resume, new positions, apply in advance. Wednesday, July 31st from what? 9 to 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wayne County Veteran Services, every Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30 at the Radcliffe Center. Call Wayne County to make an appointment, 313-506-0302. In the American Legion Department of Veterans Affairs, they can take care of all of your veteran needs and concerns. They're available every Tuesday from 9 to 3.
Yeah,
Right there at the Radcliffe Center.
Don't have to go downtown, huh?
Nope.
Ooh, I hate going down there.
I haven't done it as much as I used to when I was working at Comerica Park and what have you, but it's okay.
I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah. They get a lot of bad publicity.
The Riverwalk was nice. We did the Riverwalk one day. That was nice, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Penny Bingo.
Yeah.
First and fourth Wednesday of every month, Radcliffe Center from 1 to 2. 25 cents per bingo card. Bring lots of pennies because the pennies are used as bingo markers. Any questions, call 734-793-1870.
I think what it is I don't like driving down there. That's my. I don't mind going down there, but I don't like driving. And Cheryl worked down there for 38 years, so I let her drive.
Yeah. Okay, Music in the Park. They've got one left.
Yep. August 15th.
Right, from 4 to 9 p.m.
Yep. St. John Smith is going to be the band.
Okay. Lucky Squirrel, they've also got one left.
Yeah.
September 21st.
Jeez.
Outdoor Flea Market Crafts and Vendor Event, Garden City Town Center parking lot, northeast corner of Ford and Middle Belt.
Yep.
Hand embroidered hat class, $15 per session on Wednesdays from 4:30 to 9:30. Ages 8 and up. They got one class left. It's on. Oh no, they got 1 month left. It's on August 17th, 14th, and 21st. Learn how to make your own forward embroidered hat. All materials provided except the hats.
Yeah, you can make some nice designs there.
Yeah. Okay, City of Westland's Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, August 2nd and 3rd. Live music, a drone show, fireworks, free kids show, and more.
Yep.
Cruising with Step, car cruise, and drive-in movie. They're showing E.T. It's going to be on August 7th, Wednesday. Movie will start when it gets dark. There's karaoke, starts at 4. Movie starts at dusk. Car cruise starts at 4. Food, beverages, and more.
55-foot blow-up screen they're going to have there.
Yeah.
450 South Vinoy.
Adult coloring night. August 7th. Drop in any time from 6 to 7:30, ages 14 and up at the Garden City Public Library.
Yep. Stress-free.
Coffee hours, the next one with our state rep, Dennis Wagella, is on August 8th. They're 5:30 to 6:30 at the Radcliffe Center. It's the second Thursday of the month.
Right.
Dearborn Heights citywide garage sales, Saturday, August 10th, from 9 to 4. Spaces are $30 or for residents, $35 for non-residents. Up to 150 garage sales, all in the same location.
Wow.
Neighborhood Watch. Next meeting is August 13th at 7 p.m. in the Garden City Police Department. The Rotary has their school supplies donation. They do this every year. Thursday, August 15th from 4:30 to 9. Look for our collection boxes at Music in the Park.
Yeah, they do that every year.
Mamma Mia, Garden City Summer Theater proudly presents Mamma Mia August 23rd and 24th at 7 p.m. and August 25th at 2 p.m. It's a great story. Lots of fun.
Yeah, good music.
Yeah.
Tickets are $12 pre-sale, 15 tickets at the door. $15 tickets at the door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Putts for Mutts Charity Golf. First annual golf scramble for Haven of Love Dog Rescue. It's going to be on Saturday, August 24th. The link's at Gateway in Romulus. Shotgun start at 9. Registration at 8.
Yeah, I guess they're still looking for sponsors too. They need. So if you're interested in sponsoring a hole,
Kiwanis is going to sponsor a hole.
get a hold of them. Yep.
Garden City Public Library has their summer festival. Free games, all ages, Saturday, August 24th from 1 to 4. Celebrate the end of summer with us. Shop at our local vendor tables. Play games. Enjoy food, beverages, and win prizes. It's from 1 to 4 on Saturday, August 24th.
Can't believe we're talking about the end of summer already. Wow.
Yeah, let's not rush it.
I know. Jeez.
I'm kind of enjoying the warm weather and the long hours of daylight.
Exactly.
Cruising Hines, nothing but the classics. 7.5 miles of 2-lane park with no stop signs or stoplights to cruise, with nothing but classics on the road. All vehicles have to be at least 25 years old or older. It's on August 25th from 9 to 4. There are going to be food vendors.
Yep. Don Nicholson, this is the biggest event I think he puts on right here.
Yeah.
It's huge. And he does a lot of
Seeds and Sprouts has got one more session for the kiddies, ages 7 to 12, $5 per child. It's on August 31st from 11 to 1.
Yep.
Garden City's Chili Cook-Off Festival will be on Saturday, September 7th. I'll be in Ann Arbor. Open house from 10 to 3, beer tent 11 to 10, chili tent from 12 to 4, live music from 12 to 10, awards at 4 o'clock. Community Shred Day, prescription drug disposal and home pantry food donations on Saturday, September 14th from 10 to 1 in the City Hall parking lot. Enter off Central from Ford Road up to 5 grocery bags or cardboard boxes accepted. You have to be in line by 12:45.
Yeah, at the council meeting, they're going to be pretty strict on that this year. So don't bring
Yeah,
any,
they were running out of room and they're shredding.
Yeah, don't bring any more than 5 paper bags or banker boxes. So
yeah. Autumn Craft Festival, music, food, trucks, crafts, tarot reading, magic show, fun for all ages. Saturday, October 5th, is that?
Yeah.
From
12 to 6.
12 to 6. at the Westland.
VFW post looks like.
Yeah, VW post. Okay.
Yeah, 1055 Wayne Road.
Okay.
And that's all I got there.
I got a couple.
Okay.
The barbecue in the park is $15. It's going to be on August 9th from 12 to 2 in the Garden City Park main pavilion.
Yep.
Join us for a picture perfect day filled with sunshine, laughter, and a delightful barbecue in the park. Any questions, call 734-793-1870. They're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, desserts. So it should be a good time.
Yeah.
And the Garden City Lions are having a Garden City Lions Club meet and greet at Sports Venue on Sunday, August 3rd from 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, we're an hour and 23 minutes, so.
Yeah, it's always a little longer when these guys get into all their sports talks.
Yeah. With that, Derek just told me they got over 300 views already on the show. So,
wow,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that said, Mike, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
Podcast.
A big thanks to our guests, Derek Parton, Dan Bartley, and Steve Iwinski from D&D Sports Chat. Good time. Also, a big thank you to our fantastic co-host, meteorologist Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mike Jones. Great job as always. Any final thoughts, Mike, before we go?
No, just take care of yourself and the people you care about. Get vaccinated.
Yeah. Huge shout out and thank you to each and every one of you for sharing part of your time with us tonight and every week. We are celebrating 14 years on air, and we owe it all to you. So thank you very much. Remember, this show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook. So we hope that you'll catch it at your convenience, especially if you tuned in late, by going to facebook.com/GCChat, and feel free to share the show with your friends as well. Also catch us over on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show, and you'll find not only this show, but all our past shows as well. Just click on the live tab, and please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. We would appreciate that as well. And as always, at the end of our show, we like to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. Be safe. We want you to know that your families and you are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And whenever you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses. And if you see something,
say something.
Exactly. We got to look out for one another out there. And please don't hesitate. Vaccinate. Like Mike said, get that COVID booster if you haven't got it, and your flu shots. That season's coming up quickly, RSV and pneumonia. Remember, you not only protect yourself, but you protect others as well. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's got a great user-friendly website over there, radar and all that good stuff. And we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. And if you would like to contact any of us here at the chat for any reason, once again, our email is gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We do like to hear from our listeners. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see more of. We try to get a variety of shows and try to get people back as well. The popular ones, by demand. We'll be back on August 1st with our guest, Dominic King, who is running for Garden City Council, right here live on Facebook and YouTube. So until then, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your week. Enjoy the great weather. We will see you next week. Mike, take care, bud.
Yes, sir. You too, Gary.
Good night.
Night.